Hello everyone, welcome back to Keto Fasting Life. So if you live in Canada like I do, and all kinds of other places around the world, we just had February 2nd, which is Groundhog Day. Of course, big holiday, especially where, not a big holiday, the big event where here where I live. February 2nd, Groundhog Day. So theoretically, the groundhog comes out. If it's sunny, sees a shadow, gets scared, goes back in his hole, 6 more weeks of winter. If it's cloudy, doesn't see a shadow, spring's just around the corner, whatever that means. Anyway, so I thought in honor of Groundhog Day, I'd do a twist on shepherd's pie. So what we've got here is I've made a shepherd's pie. You can take a look at that. It's not too bad looking. So instead of ground beef though, we've used ground pork. So think of another word for a pig is a hog. So it's ground hog. See what I did there? It's very tasty. Anyway, I'm going to call it Groundhog Pie. That's a horrible name. There's no groundhogs were harmed in the making of this video. The other thing I've done here is that some people, and I have a close friend who has this situation, can't eat cauliflower. Normally I put a cauliflower top on this rather than mashed potatoes, obviously. But in this case, I'm going to use broccoli. So stay tuned and I'll show you how this all works. Okay, we're going to start with a pound of ground hamburger, or sorry, not ground hamburger, ground pork. There we go, ground pork. In our skillet, non-stick skillet, we're just going to chop that up. That dog's in the background again. All right, so now we're going to use broccoli for our topping rather than mashed potatoes, rather than cauliflower. Now I've got, I don't know, a partial head here. You'll see once we get this done here, there's exactly 300 and some odd grams of broccoli. So we're going to cook that up. You can see it in the background. Here's a tablespoon of Worcestershire, Worcester, how do you call this stuff? Tablespoon of that in there. Exactly 1 tablespoon. Perfect. Nicely done. All right. Then we got exactly, what is that? That's garlic powder, maybe a tablespoon. And then another imperial measurement, a handful of dried chives. Love dried chives. There we go. Mix that all up together and let her cook there. Now, one of the things I really love is this is sesame oil. So I've got a half a teaspoon of sesame oil. The numbers aren't accurate here, obviously. You can put in a full teaspoon if you wanted to, but I love that stuff. All right, and then some salt. Yeah, I don't know, what is that? 7 cranks, something like that. And then also some pepper, just as this to taste. This isn't an overly amount. You can add more in later when you have it on your plate, which is always the best thing to do, season to taste sort of thing. So we got some salt and pepper in there. Now, we're going to use, in with our vegetables, we're going to do some Brussels sprouts. So I just cut the ends off of these, and then I slice them all up cross-sectionally like this. Love the way the camera shakes every time the knife hits the cutting board, don't you? Off we go. So we slice these up. And that'll be the bulk of the greens in our mix. Once that's done, we just add those into the ground pork and seasonings once the pork is all closed, and put the lid on that so that those things will cook up. No problem at all. Also some mushrooms. No, that's not sped up. That's how you cut mushrooms. Just make sure you keep your fingers in like that. You won't cut them off, and just kind of vibrate your other hand and away you go. It's nothing to it. So then those go in as well, and here's a secret ingredient, bacon grease. I put about 2 dollops that big in there. Lovely flavor. Mix that all around. It's all looking pretty good now. All right, so now we've got to prepare our topping. So the broccoli's all cooked. We have our mixer here, and I just kind of whiz these up until it's kind of this green slurry that I really probably haven't seen since my son was about 6 months old, I don't think. Anyway, it kind of looks weird, but it is delicious, trust me. So there you go. Now we've got this. This is the broccoli. We cooked it until it was almost, mush. Then we're going to add into that probably about 2 tablespoons of butter. Mix that up. That'll melt pretty quickly. And once that's in there, kind of give it a little hit and mix it up. That'll melt in. And once that's in there, we're going to take a bunch of, this is old cheddar cheese. How much is that? A chunk, exactly how much you want. Mix that around, it'll melt in. It is delicious. Okay, then once that's in there, it'll all mix up and look just like that. The cheese will just disappear. Terrific. All right, now We take our ground pork mixture, put it in the bottom of a casserole dish, just sort of flatten it out on the bottom there, obviously on the bottom. And then we're going to take a little more of this is actually medium cheddar cheese, just kind of in between this layer and the next layer up. Put about half of it in there because we're going to put some more on top later on. Then we're going to take our green goo. This stuff just looks worse every time I look at it. Trust me, it tastes really good. The idea was it's supposed to look like grass on top of the dirt and the ground, I don't know. So spread this out like this. It actually doesn't look too bad now, does it? Ha ha ha. There you go. You spread that out, and then on top of that, we're going to add in the rest of that cheese that we had. So that's medium cheddar cheese. You can use whatever you like. I just like a little bit of cheese on top of everything that I do. And just finish that up there like so. And that chunk's too big. We'll just eat that. Okay, that looks good. And that should do it. I don't know. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? Yes. Okay. Perfect. Thumbs up. Off we go into the oven, and presto, out of the oven. It's quite hot, so I'm gonna let it cool for just a little bit before we serve it. Looks delicious. Okay, so our groundhog pie, that's a horrible name, has just come out of the oven. We're going to get into it now. This is looking pretty tasty. Kind of our pretend grass on top, and we'll see how this turns out. I have actually let it cool for about 10 minutes prior to doing this, so that it's not quite so, I don't know, not quite so what? I don't know what. So I don't know if I can get this out of here without it just kind of all falling apart, because I'm not that skilled at it, but we'll do our best. There we go. I think I left some of the good bits behind. I'll dig a little bit of that out. Okay, now we're going to have a taste. All right, so the cheese is all melted on top. Does it look good? I'm not sure if it looks good or not. It smells fantastic, but here we go. We'll try it out here. Mushrooms are in there. Yeah. It's broccoli flavoring. There's cheese throughout it. The spices in the ground pork are yummy. This is nice. So if you're the kind of person who, for whatever reason, doesn't like cauliflower as your topping on this kind of a thing, the broccoli works just as well and has a really nice flavor to it. So if you like that one, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, click on the little bell, and stay tuned for more interesting recipes. What am I going to call this thing? Groundhog pie?
Sure.
Friday. You can't click the whole time I do this. Every video I have click, 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 click in the background. Come. Hello. Hello. Hi. Say hi. You're the one who click, click, clicks all the way through my videos, you goof.